Alright, ladies and gents, you are very welcome back to another edition of the Folk Ear Training YouTube channel. In this lesson, I'm going to be talking about one of the key concepts of music theory that you need to know in order to improve your ability to play music by ear. That is the numbering system. Okay, so most musicians, when they're beginning their musical journey, will name the musical notes after the first 7 letters of the alphabet. Now, this is a very useful system in order to put language around the notes that you are playing. But there are other ways that we can name the notes that we're playing, and other ways, I would argue, that are much more beneficial to the ambition of improving your ability to play by ear. So what if, as opposed to using letter names, we simply used numbers, the number 1 to 7, to name all the degrees of the major scale? Now, this might seem like a semantic change, but doing this forces your brain to think about the music that you're playing in a different way. It forces you to think about intervals. For instance, to take a famous folk lullaby like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, you might teach this tune, the start of it at least, being C, C, G, G, A, A, G. But if you changed that to the numbering system, you would teach it 1, 1, 5, 5, 6, 6, 5. What does 1 to 5 sound like? What does 5 to 6 sound like? What does 6, 5, 1 sound like? Now, 1 to 5 is one of the most important intervals that you're going to hear in Western music. So it's hugely important to not just think of C to G, but to think of that 1 to 5 interval. Here's another thing that you can do. Take a very simple folk melody like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and randomly assign any of the notes on your instrument, say B flat for an example, assign that note the function of 1. That becomes your tonic, that becomes your key center. Now try and find where 5 is in relation to your new 1, in this case B flat. Then try and find 6 in relation to B flat. Doing this allows us to internalize in our fingers what the sound of 1 to 5 or 5 to 6 sounds like in various different musical scenarios or different keys. And we can use old folk melodies that have been in our head since we were kids in order to explore this a little bit. So here's my mission for you. Take your instrument, pick a random note, any note, and decide that that is your 1, that is your tonic, that is your key signature. Then try and figure out the notes of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, the 1 to 5 to 6 to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Figure that out in as many different keys as you can, and I guarantee that is going to accelerate your ability to hear music, to hear intervals, and to understand what you're hearing when you are trying to play by ear. If you enjoyed this content, please hit the like button and the subscribe button, and stay tuned for more ear training tips and tricks. I'm the Folk Ear Trainer. I will see you in a video very soon.